Good evening and welcome into High Top Sports Network's presentation of high school football. Week 6 action takes us to Indiana, Pennsylvania, where the Riverhawks will look to keep their hot streak going here. Just a little trip down 422 for these Riverhawks, looking to replicate what they did a season ago in this very same field. My name is Joe Rhodes. Joining me tonight will be Mason Flanagan. Riverhawks in their white tops, blue bottoms. The Indians in their black shirts, black pants. They are, of course, the home team. Apologize for our late start here, but better late than never, as they say.
Yeah, big crowd on hand for Indiana. Their homecoming game. So at halftime, we'll be seeing who the new king and queen are. Well, one of the beauties of high school football, the homecoming games every year. Almost forgot it was that time of year already.
Yeah, it's the first chilly night, I feel like, Mason, of the season. Very brisk, needless to say. Up here in the press box, we got to have these windows open to be able to shoot the footage that we do, and so...
jackets are there for a reason, Joe.
Exactly. That is why we jack it up. But I want to quickly mention that tonight's booth sponsor, where we sit right now, is Schaefer's HVAC. Make sure you check out Schaefer's HVAC. Tonight's scoreboard sponsor, Dr. Ryan Olson Chiropractic of West Katanning, and the official broadcast partner, the Richard G. Snyder YMCA in downtown Katanning. The pregame, which we didn't have, presented by Ryan Bowser State Farm. Ryan will get you, don't worry. Kick off the Riverhawks coming from your left. Ball's up, and it'll be taken at about the 15-yard line, cutting it to the right, now back to his left, and wrapped up by a couple Riverhawks at the 25-yard line. That was I believe that was number 14 for the Indians. And that is where the home squad will take over. Of course, Armstrong coming here a season ago, Mason, and kind of having their way with the Indians. Some trick plays involved in that game. Caden Olson catching a touchdown pass. More familiar with seeing that young man on the other end of that than that particular occasion. Caden catching a pass from Noah Shuttleworth for 6.
Well, yeah, Joe, when I look at the stats, Indiana definitely likes to run the ball just a little more. Quarterback Trevor Smith, only 75 attempts on the season as of now, but I'm sure as the game rolls on, maybe we'll see them adjust a little bit to the Riverhawks.
Man in motion, Smith's going to keep it. Actually, he's going to hand it off. Very good deception there by Trevor Smith, the junior. Ball ends up going to the right and tackled for about a loss, if I'm not mistaken. Well, yeah, they're going to say about a loss of 1.5 to say 2. Indians look to the sideline for the play call. Riverhawks defense, this front seven, again, just mighty impressive. I don't think a lot of people expected to be as effective as it has, but they have been tremendous. Now the secondary starting to kind of find their way as well. Should note, there's Smith until this play's over, and he's met by the young man I was just going to mention, Dozic Zablocki, number 11. Dozic came out at pregame and wearing number 87. Not sure what that was about, but he now has his number 11. And you saw him meet Trevor Smith there. Stood him up. Gained maybe of 2, maybe 3 yards. And that's where Smith and company will face a 3rd down and 9. 10:48 left here, first quarter, first drive of the game. The Indians receiving the kickoff. Smith gets in the shotgun. Penetration met by Chrisman. This one's picked off on the far side by Jack Valasek. What a nice play there. Just Johnny on the spot. Jack Valasek making a habit of this. He had 2 interceptions against Hampton, and there's one more for the junior, Mr. Jack Valasek.
Well, yeah, that looked like Kenny Pickett against the Jets. Just met, he threw the ball, committed to it while he knew he was taking a hard hit. Rushing that throw, though, that's where you end up giving up those interceptions like that. And I heard talk all day today, you can't give Caden Olson a short field to work with. It just can't happen. And here it is, right here. You're starting at the 36-yard line. Imagine Armstrong could take advantage and start fast.
Olson the gun, he's going to look to his right, throw outside, high, but brought in and corralled at the 25-yard line by Jack Valasek. So back-to-back plays that Jack Valasek is involved with. Quickly back to the line as Armstrong has kind of become accustomed to. And you mentioned Mason, great field position to start here for the Riverhawks. And That's secondary, just as I said it. They come up with a big turnover there. Jack Balasek, most notably. And here is the general. He's got some room to the right side. He's going to meet and go past Smith for the touchdown. 2 plays, the Riverhawks into the end zone. They are leading now 6-0. Armstrong striking fast here, and man, oh man, talk about a way of seizing momentum quickly. The Riverhawks doing that with the interception and needing 2 plays following it to reach Pater.
And also nice separation right up the middle there to give Patton that. There was nobody to even catch him. Once he gets his feet rolling, just watching film on the general, he gets a little head full of steam. You're done.
And that is up and good by Hunter Reed to give the Riverhawks an early 7-0 lead. That's a picture-perfect start for the Riverhawks if there is one. And the Indians getting the opening kickoff. The 3rd down attempt by Trevor Smith, intercepted by Jack Balasek. Jack Balasek catching the ensuing pass by Kay Nolson, and then the general marching his way into the end zone 4-6, and Hunter Reed putting it through the uprights to give Armstrong the 7-0 lead that they now have. So Mason, as I said, picture perfect. I'm not sure Armstrong could paint it any better than it has started here so far today.
Joe, you come in as a team that gave Indiana a game last year. Why not come in and try to do the same exact thing? And why not do it early too? It's a chilly night. You don't want to be setting out and playing a dramatic game the whole night. Why not just go out and try to get the job done early?
And Reed will kick it off. This one corralled at about the 5-yard line, a little deeper in this one. There's a seam though. Able to get through it was the return man. It was Jones on the return, I do believe. Tough here with this glass in front of us. A little bit of a glare. I can't see with these black uniforms. And the font, very tight font. Us in the print industry, as I've been for a while now, it's a very condensed font.
You wouldn't expect, the red on the black with a white outline. You wouldn't expect to have a hard time seeing that, but
au contraire. So now the Indians will go back out in the field. Trevor Smith in the gun. Flank to his right, or left was a running back. He'll go no blocking, and nice slant route and brought in there by number 3, James Mill, the junior, hooking up with another junior there for a first down. So Indians wasting no time. They're going to mirror what the Riverhawks did in their first offensive possession, get quickly to the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 33-yard line.
Man in motion. He's going to get the ball here. Oh, nope. Smith's going to keep it. And again, give Trevor Smith some credit. He's done a good job of disguising the football there. Thought for sure that he was giving it to the end around, but instead keeps it, tries to take it up the gut, but met quickly by a horde of Riverhawks for about a gain of 1.
Yeah, the difference maker there would be Dozic Zablocki out on the far side coming in. Everybody else, a couple Riverhawks turned their head to the fake, but Dozic wasn't fooled. He was so far away from that guy, might as well keep your eye on the quarterback, and he was able to meet him for the tackle.
Man in motion puts 3 receivers to the right. Smith remains in the gun, throws a little screen outside. Nice blocking there by the receiver, but a bunch of Riverhawks able to converge quickly and give credit. Don't see the number of the receiver on that side. He was holding up Isaiah Brown quite well, but just as he was doing that, a bevy of Riverhawks meeting the receiver there. So again, another 3rd and long for the Indians. It'll be 3rd and 8 with 8:21 left here first quarter. Armstrong leading 7-0.
I believe that receiver would be Kowchuk on the far side. Matches Brown in size.
Indians operating from the right hash. Man in motion. He's going to look to his left, now throw to his right. This one's going to be over the head of the intended target, going after Jack Valasek on that one again, and that will be or bring up a 4th down with 7:56 left, and the punting unit appears to be coming on for the Indians.
Incomplete. Will bring up a 4th down for the Indians. 4th and 8.
Life doesn't slow down when the everyday aches and pains have you sidelined. So get back on the field sooner with the care of Olson Chiropractic. Dr. Ryan Olson and his staff treat a variety of conditions for patients of all ages. Don't jeopardize your quality of life and the moments along the way. Let Olson Chiropractic help you find the healthier, younger you. Call Olson Chiropractic at 724-548-1040. Third down and 12. Sorry, our audio was muted there somehow. I don't know what's going on with our OBS tonight. I have a backup computer. Never a great thing. Olson now. Third and 12. Throw outside. This one brought in. Bounces off one tackler and then dragging another was number 10.
Pass complete.
Bartolowicz.
On the reception.
That was indeed Joe Bartolowicz, the sophomore.
On the tackle. First and goal for the Riverhawks.
First and goal for the Riverhawks. Olson in the gun. Patton to his right this time. Patton's now going to shift out to the left. He's going to look to throw it to him. A flag on the field there. And then Zablocki right on cue catches the touchdown. That is not laundry on the field, and Zablocki with 6. I made the joke a moment ago that typically we're seeing Dozic Zablocki make catches inside the 10-yard line, not in the middle of the field like you saw a moment ago. And right there on cue, Dozic Zablocki able to come up with another touchdown snatch this 2022 season, and he gives the Riverhawks a 13-0 lead. So Dozic Zablocki putting his fingerprints on this game now offensively, always doing it defensively. That's almost a given every week, but Dozic now getting into the scoring act, and The Riverhawks take a 14-0 lead here at the 15-second mark of the first quarter. 15 seconds left, rather, here at Indiana Area High School. Indiana County Mason, my home county. Always nice to come home. It's always nice when you travel to a school and you know how to get there really easily. Some of these schools we go to throughout the WPIAL, especially when you start heading down 28, I'm not as familiar with some of those areas. I'm getting more familiar, obviously, working that way, but this one I pretty much could have brought you to with my eyes closed.
That's a good thing. Anytime you know where you're going, that means you can't get lost as easily.
So the Riverhawks.
Not the most brilliant statement out of the box today, but it's nice to know where you're going and that there's
it does.
not going to be
I was actually I let you drive my car here today. I'm questioning it now with how many times you were brake checking me, but I was doing some work on the computer and I basically had my head down the whole time. I was still giving you directions, so that's how you know I've been here a time or two. Kickoff down to the about 7-yard line, taken, and some room and a nice run back there for the Indians. Like that was number 1, Jones on the kick return out to the, we'll say the 4. I'm sorry, they're going to mark him at the 38. So a nice run back for the Indians after the ball was brought in at about the 7-yard line there, Mason.
It was quite a drive in. Let me drive your car. Brakes are a little more touchy than what I'm used to.
I noticed. The Indians looking to get something generating here offensively. Here's a handoff. Cutting to the left was the running back. He's still moving those legs, and a nice job there to keep the pile going. That was Doherty with the carry, and that will do it for the first quarter of play here on High Top Sports Network on this Richard G. Snyder YMCA game night. Your score, the Armstrong Riverhawks 14, the Indiana Indians nothing. For Mason Flanagan, my name is Joe Rhodes. We'll be right back.
We'd like to remind you to stay in your seat.
Here, I want to get him real fast. I'll make sure you bump that up real fast too. It's 13. Yeah. Here, we'll just wait. We'll get them at halftime. We'll just do live reads in the meantime. Oh, welcome back to High Top Sports Network. First play of the Indians' second quarter drive, and wrapped up quickly by Isaiah Brown. Thrown to the ground was Porter. Levi Porter, just a freshman there on the receiving end.
Third down for the Indians. Ball on the 37-yard line.
So a 3rd and 12. Indiana facing these third downs early and often here tonight, not doing much as far as converting them. Looking to change that here now. Kind of a bunch formation, everybody inside the far hash. And there's another blitz up the middle, fumble, and I think the Riverhawks are on it. It is indeed number 35 able to cover it up. That was the one and only Nick McNeely. Calling his name a couple times here tonight. Another delayed blitz up the middle. Indiana not able to handle that. We saw Chrisman get through there a couple times. I didn't see there, Mason, who that was that got through or shot through there. Was it Chrisman again?
Yeah, you see, I did see 35 McNeely, so. But either way, with the fumble, that's now the third drive that Armstrong has had down the 30, within the 35, so.
So great field position for Olsen and company. Ball snapped at the 26. He's going to do a pump fake. Decided to go outside. Gets this one to his brother Ian. Ian's going to try to juke him in. Get outside a little bit. Enough for the first down and more. Brought down, let's say, at the 10.5-yard line. give credit to Ian Olsen there making it happen. A little move that made the defensive back bite, able to cut it outside and have a nice run after catch. The Riverhawks in the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser State Farm is there always. Olsen in the gun, quickly back to the line. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Bartolowicz in the middle of it. Here's an option play pitched out to Alex Patton. Patton outside for a short gain of maybe 1 or 2 yards.
Brocious knocks him out of bounds.
Olsen getting rid of that one quickly in the option play as the pressure was on.
No gain on the play.
I'm going to say no gain,
Goal for the
as a matter of
10-yard
fact.
line.
So 2nd and goal here for the Riverhawks. 10:38, second quarter. Riverhawks leading 14-0. Patton to Olsen's left. Here's a little screen, but low and in the ground. It was meant for Bartolowicz.
Intended for
You
Bartolowicz.
could see Jack Valasek. It was kind of in the slot there, just shoot outside, and that kind of gave away that it was going to be a screen play. But Olsen just, I don't know if anybody got a hand on that or not, but that one falling well short of Bartolowicz. Bring up a 3rd and goal. Olsen. Low snap, brings it in. He's going to throw across the middle. Open off the hands of Valasek. That one was put on the dot, but unable to bring it in was Jack Valasek. And
Pass intended for Balasek, incomplete. 4th down.
Riverhawks look like they will stay on the field. Maybe not. Looks like Hunter Reed will come out.
Defending on the play.
The excellent soccer player. Also really making a name for himself as a high school football kicker.
Down to attempt a
Reed going to try a
5-yard field goal.
to split the uprights. This one up and good off the tent there. 4-3. So Hunter Reed makes it a 17-0 advantage in favor of the visiting Riverhawks. Mason, not the prettiest drive for the Riverhawks. Obviously, starting with great field position. The defense really, as I said early on, kind of providing the Riverhawks' best offense right now. When you set the offense up at the 26, 27-yard line, whatever that was.
36. Then there was 2 within the 30.
Yeah, Armstrong. That's the thing. And more often than not, you're going to score when you're starting in your opponent's territory. And Armstrong, though, that drive fizzled out towards the end once they got in the into the red zone. Still able to make it pay, make it hurt for Indiana, and put 3 on the board. So 17-0 the score. Now Reed back out there to kick off for the Riverhawks. Mentioned shout out to our good friends at Steffi's Country Catering. Make sure you check them out. The holiday's coming up. Leave the cooking to Steffi's. Spend time with your loved ones. Terry's a good cook, probably better than you anyway, so let him cook.
Jones on the return.
Jones on the return there, and a little late extracurricular activity there. Looks like it's going to go against Indiana.
There's some flags on the play.
The laundry, I'm going to guess, is going to go against number 33. That was Jonathan Wyatt, and then he was tangled up with number 72 from Armstrong.
Cam Wolf.
Yep, Cam Wolf. So
I'm proud to admit, going back to Mr. Steffi himself, I'm proud to admit he's better cook than I am. So
well, he's oh man, yeah. It's you're not in the minority there. He's a better cook than.
I claim to know how to cook, but especially when somebody else cooks it for you.
And the other thing that should be noted, not just for the holidays, it's a great place to go on Sundays. If you check him out on Facebook, just look up Terry Steffi. There is a Steffi's Country Catering Facebook page, but we urge you not to go to it because it got hacked, Terry told us, so don't go to that. But hit Terry up himself. Just look up Terry Steffi on Facebook. He puts up the Sunday specials, so when you're watching the Steeler games, there's nothing better than a little catered meal from Steffi's Country Catering. Some ham balls, maybe some mashed potatoes. Just stick to the ribs type food. That pass behind its intended target. It looked like it was it was intended for number 13, Anthony Kalchuk, the 6'3" junior, but behind him, and Valasek right in the neighborhood as well. So a second down and 10-18 left here. Second quarter of play. Riverhawks in control with a 17-0 lead, though not pretty necessarily so far. The first drive offensively for Armstrong was pretty, needing only 2 plays. Here's a handoff. I think this is Doherty brought down at about the 25, say the 26-yard line.
Past 2 runs by Doherty is really started to come out a little bit, because after his last run, it's only 5 yards after you subtract all the negative runs. Only 5 yards that Indiana's had on the ground so far. So the run game's starting to heat up, because for the first quarter it was all pass for Indiana, because that's all that worked for them, Joe.
In the gun is Smith. He looks to his left. Now he's going to throw over the middle, but hits the hands of number 13. That's Anthony Kalchuk. He was there. He was open, but just off the fingertips, and another third down that doesn't go in the way of the Indians, and they will bring out the punting unit. Number 13, Kalchuk, back out there to punt for Indiana. It's hard to say whether or not he should have had that. It was definitely outstretched hands. I'm of the belief if it hits you in the hands, you probably should catch it. And Kalchuk, as you could see there, emphatically slapping the field, so he probably felt like he needed to catch that one too. As Chrisman drops this one, able to bring it back in, and met by tackler, gets away from 2 tacklers before being brought down at about the 25-yard line, and that's where Caden Olson and the Armstrong offense will take over. And Mason, while we have the opportunity, I want to thank another one of our wonderful sponsors, and that, of course, is our extra point sponsor tonight. Been a couple of those, 2 of them. So we might as well mention our friends at AIA, Armstrong Indoor Athletics. And obviously, it's not necessarily baseball season. We're getting to the baseball playoffs for Major League Baseball, but Armstrong Indoor Athletics trains you all year long. Armstrong, they're located at 132 South Grant Avenue in downtown Katanning. They offer state-of-the-art training facility and top-tier instruction by experienced coaches to help you turn your youngster into a baseball or softball player beast. So check them out today. AIA, Armstrong Indoor Athletics. First carry there by Patton, wrapped up by Kalchuk. Kalchuk getting involved in these last few plays. I feel like we've called his name in 3 consecutive plays. One on offense, one on special teams, and now one on defense for Anthony Kalchuk. As now the Riverhawks face a 2nd and 3. Bunch to the top of your screen. Olson's going to look that way now. Look to the bottom of the screen to connect with Isaiah Brown. Brown throws out the stiff arm, able to get past the cornerback and out of bounds at the 43-yard line. A nice job there to find Isaiah Brown was Caden Olson. He had that bunch to the top of the screen. The defense really paying attention to the 3 receivers there. And instead, Olson opting to go here to the near side. Patton gets the carry. There's a nice hole there. Puts his head down and rears forward to the 50-yard line as we hit the 8:32 mark of the first half. Excuse me, 8:32 left in the first half.
I should mention, you mentioned the stiff arm that was given by Brown. The corner covering him at that point. Who else but number 13 in the black?
Anthony Kalchuk.
He's not out there now, but
another carry right up the gut by Patton. Again, bulls forward, enough for a, looks like about enough for a first down. Yep, the near side judge will say that the chain gang can mosey on from our right to our left. Isaiah Brown, near side, 3 receivers at the top of the screen. Armstrong really doing a great job working out of this hurry-up offense. Olson in the gun, fakes the handoff, throws outside. This one caught by number 14 for the Riverhawks and brought down at about, let's say, the 37-yard line. That was Jablonski. So Armstrong, as we've seen often this season, getting a lot of names involved in terms of receiving targets. It's not just Ian Olson and Isaiah Brown doing all the heavy lifting. You've seen Jablonski get involved, Bartolowicz, certainly Dozik Zablocki, especially when you get in the red zone.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Like having a Division I commit quarterback, and you have to have the weapons to complement that. That's something Armstrong does a good job of.
Probably the best receiving core that Caden Olson has had, I would say, since his first year starting as a sophomore. This, of course, year number 3. And Caden coming in, I believe, is the number 2 passer in the WPIAL. Connects with the receiver there. Brought down immediately at the 38-yard line of the Indians. So a 3rd down now for Armstrong in Indiana territory. Hunter Jacobs alone at the top of the screen. Olsen with the option. Nice fake there. He's going to reach out with that 6'5" frame of his and get the 1st down. Man, oh man, Olsen, sneaky play there. Showing off the basketball moves. Able to get the defender to bite on the fake pitch on the option play, and Olsen brings it to the 33-yard line and a fresh set of downs for the Riverhawks as we hit the 6:19 mark of the 2nd quarter. So Armstrong threatening once again. Olsen going to go deep this time. He's targeting Brown. Brown goes up for it. This one bobbled around. I think he got it on a 2nd attempt. He did. Isaiah Brown, what a play. Wow. Woo. That was pretty. Isaiah Brown, the body control on that one, able to keep his eyes on the ball as he's being brought to the ground and then reel it in. A great throw by Caden Olsen and a ridiculous catch by Isaiah Brown, 4-6. To put the Armstrong Riverhawks up 23-0. Boy, oh boy, we've seen that connection on the very same play often this season, but man, oh man, that might be the prettiest yet, Mason.
Oh yeah, just full on putting the body on the line, and there's another extra point. The extra point sponsor, get to mention them all night long.
Of course, it's AIA, Armstrong Indoor Athletics.
Yeah.
Get your swing on.
Yeah, well, it's always baseball season, isn't it?
It's always baseball season.
Yeah, when is it not?
But yeah, that was textbook Caden Olsen, Isaiah Brown. When they put a highlight tape together of those two in their high school career together, that's going to be a play that's featured somewhere near the end of it. Just a beautiful throw by Olsen and Isaiah Brown again. That's not an easy play whenever that ball gets knocked up in the air. And mind you, there were 2 Indians in the vicinity of that. Brown by himself, and he was just too strong, and just that hand-eye and that coordination that Isaiah Brown has displayed here this season, showing itself again.
Just going back to it again before we kick off here, Armstrong did a good job, variety of plays there. You have the Olsen sneak, you have the general running right up the middle, you're shortening the field, bringing up the secondary. What else to do when there's a short field? Blow Isaiah Brown past the secondary.
And, the last few drives for Armstrong, even the one that ended with a field goal by Hunter Reed, this one's going to bounce and be covered up at the 19-yard line. So effective kind of pop-up kind of to the sideline kick. But the thing about that, Mason, is it's going to make Armstrong a really hard team to scout. They're obviously heading for the postseason. And, when you're watching Armstrong line up, you don't know who it's going to go to. That play, that could have very well been a check down, but instead, like you said, he decides to go to Brown. And that just makes him a very hard team to scout, because they'll throw to anybody on any kind of formation, really.
Yes, why not? A fresh set of downs, take a shot for it.
Yeah, and then Isaiah Brown, maybe one of the best in the entire Whippeal, dare I say, at that high pointing that ball and going up and absorbing contact like you saw there, but still able to bring it in. One of the best catches we've seen here all season. I know one of the best I've seen. Back out are the Indians. Quick pass and catch there from Smith out to number 3, James Mill. We've seen them kind of connect here a couple times, have Mill and Smith as an Indian player is down.
Stoppage play for an injury.
And we will have a stoppage here as the Indiana player is being attended to, but Indiana looking for maybe generate something here with 5:58 left in the first half. Armstrong with a commanding 24-0 lead, and the offenses were not firing on all cylinders, I guess you could say, early on, Mason. That early drive was kind of an anomaly, with Armstrong using 2 plays to get in the end zone after the turnover. But first, the few drives after that, really neither team able to really generate anything. And Indiana, getting forced to have to do something on third downs, and so far they just have been unable to do so. Armstrong's defense really clamping down on the down, you could say, that matters the most.
That was the first drive that either team had went almost 80 yards. Because if you remember, that punt from Indiana was just not handled well. And then avoiding 2 tackles and luckily holding on to the ball. But, you know, Caden Olson's capable of anything. But I'm curious to see how Indiana comes back out after the last drive. They tried to get the pass back. They weren't able to do the pass as much because of that late blitz that Armstrong brought out. So we'll have to see how they mix it up. The run game was working a little, but do you drop the quarterback back and give them it 1 or 2 seconds? And we'll see if the late blitz comes.
Yeah, Armstrong doing it all different ways. Indiana, as you said, having a couple nice runs, and really the passing game kind of letting them down. You saw that one that really seemed to be their best opportunity off the hands of Kalchuk on their last drive. Here's another quick little play out to Mill again. Smith obviously comfortable throwing to Mill in these sort of out routes as the clock stops at 5:52. And we're on High Top Sports Network at Indiana Area High School in Indiana, PA.
When I look down the stats, I see catch by Mill, catch by Mill, catch by Mill, catch by Mill. You're always getting 5 or more yards when you throw to him.
Sort of a safety valve, it seems, for Smith. 2 men in the backfield now. Option play is a pitch out to number 2. That is Porter. Porter scampers out and is knocked out of bounds on the far side at about the 36-yard line where the clock will stop again. 5:45 left here in quarter number 1. Mentioning there before that we are in the Schaefer's HVAC broadcast booth here at Indiana Area High School. Schaefer's has been a staple of HVAC in the containing area since 1973 and is a leader in heating and cooling solutions and serves thousands of families and businesses in Armstrong County, Allegheny, Butler, right here in Indiana County as well, and Westmoreland County. So you need your furnace fixed. It's getting cold. You need that now. It's certainly chilly out tonight. Call our friends at Schaefer's HVAC. And Kalchuk able to make a couple of moves there, including a little spin that gets him out to the 42-yard line and a much-needed first down by the little Indians, or excuse, just the Indians. I'm sorry. They're no longer little. They've grown up.
This is 4A. This is 4A.
Right.
It's not Saturday morning leagues, or I forget all the names of the youth leagues.
Yeah.
They're different everywhere you go,
but they're grown up now. I like it. Here's a handoff there, and met immediately was Doherty, but he's able to get out of it somehow, but only momentarily as he's brought down then after with his forward progress being marked at the 35-yard line. Boy, oh boy, that Armstrong defense, you almost felt like everyone on that defense was somewhere in the vicinity of Doherty there.
Doherty, I don't know his throwing experience, but at some point you have to try to attempt to throw that ball out at somebody and get it out of play or incomplete or something.
There's a little nice throw in the middle. There's a slant route. The original line of scrimmage up to the 50, up to the 45. That's a first down. A nice play. Good offensive call there by Indiana. A little delayed cross. The guy kind of just almost like a wheel route of sorts. I don't know what you want to call that, but over the middle, no one on him, and he's able to get into Armstrong field position before Dosick Zablocki brings him down at the Armstrong 45-yard line. So
just call it right place at the right time. Right play at the right time.
Throw outside. Brought in by Kalchuk, met by Crispin, and that's where he will be brought to the ground at the 40-yard line. So this drive looking a little bit more advantageous, I guess you could say, for Indiana than the last few. Able to grab some chunks of yardage. We've seen a couple first downs, something that's eluded the Indians here so far. And
let's give them 6 yards on that reception. Second and
clock
4
hitting the
Indians.
4-minute mark here. 2nd and 4.
Not a bad job managing the clock either, Joe.
Option play, the pitch outside. Chance for Porter. Misses the shoestring tackle, but then coming over was Ian Olson to finally knock Porter out of bounds, but not until a he is able to get out in front of the sticks for another first down. So Indiana, I believe, Mason, with 3 first downs now on this drive.
Correct. 3 first downs, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground, and another 1 on the ground, so 2 on the ground.
And you know, you're seeing Indiana kind of feature that option a little bit more, and it's seemingly working as well. So see if they continue to do that. High pass, but able to be brought in there by who else but James Mill, the 6'2 junior, out of bounds. And you talk about clock management. A lot of plays that Indiana's headed for the sideline, stop that clock. Maybe not necessarily on purpose, but because you almost don't want to give Armstrong enough time too in the if you are able to score and you're Indiana. There's 3:38 left, and the way that they're conserving clock. Again, here's a little screen play. Some room, and then brought down at the 12-yard line. Again, another nice play by Indiana as far as just scheming things up. So a promising drive now finally for the Indians as the clock is now at 3:27.
Wasn't able to see who called that one.
I believe that was Kalchuk, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. The red on the black uniforms again getting to us.
Yeah, maybe get white next cycle when they get these uniforms remade. Smith's going to look. He's going to keep this one, go up the middle, but met by number 76 for the Riverhawks.
Donovan Hutchins, freshman out there.
Some laundry on the field. There's Chrisman on the tackle.
My apologies, must have not been 76.
There's a keeper by Smith, but brought down last minute by Kyan Klein. Klein is able to bring him down just short of the end zone. We'll say the 3-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal for the Indians. So the Indians showing something on this drive despite the offense kind of sputtering to this point. Now Smith will have a few cracks at the end zone. He's going to hand it off to, I believe, Doherty, and then Doherty is brought down for no gain. So Armstrong not just going to surrender the 6 here, are they, Mason?
Oh, of course, but at this point it's still a competitive game. You still have a whole half to play. You can't. Why give up a 46 or 7 points when you can come up to 3 or even 0?
There's a snap. Smith's going to look to pass. Now he's going to keep it, run up the middle, but he's brought down just short of the end zone with 1:50 left here in the second quarter. So that dreaded down for the Indians now upcoming. 3rd and 1, and a timeout will be called. I want to give credit there, the tackle there by number 65.
Owen Kamer?
Yep, Owen Kamer, the senior. Nice play there to prevent the touchdown for the Indians. Armstrong, you saw the Indians kind of do a good job of their own when Armstrong got in the red zone. They had that 1st and goal at the 10, and that drive pretty much stalled there. And now Armstrong doing their own version of that now on the other end of the field. Here's 1:36 is on the clock. First quarter, Armstrong pitching a shutout right now, 24-0. But Indiana threatening. And a whistle blows here. Quick little meeting between the Zebras.
Not a lot of this. Not a lot of flags. Not a lot of penalties. There might have been one on the one kickoff or punt. Don't remember what exactly it was.
Yeah, well, who likes laundry anyways, Mason? Am I right?
Yeah, we don't need yellow yellow cloth.
Less laundry, the better. Here's a handoff, but brought down. Riverhawks not falling for the the fake there. It looked like he was going to keep it himself, and you saw Smith kind of shoot to his left as he was going to, as he mimicking like he was diving for the end zone. And Riverhawks unimpressed as they bring him down for a loss at the 5-yard line. 1:15 left. Clock continues to roll here, and Indiana now will have a decision to make. Do they try to put points on the scoreboard, or do they try to get their first and elusive touchdown so far? I feel like you almost have to go for it if you're Indiana here. You're down 24-0.
Yes, looking at the drive chart, it's not been pretty. So points are positive, but at the same point,
and a
you
timeout
gotta call a timeout.
will be called. So with that, Mason, we talked about Terry Steffi's wonderful cooking. We talked about Schaefer's HVAC keeping you warm in these cold months. Tonight, really the first chilly night we've had here in the fall for a football game.
It'll be a lot worse in a couple months.
And that's why you want to.
This is summer weather when it comes to March or April.
Okay. But we talked about Schaefer's helping you out when the weather gets cold. I want to thank one of our real good friends, my man Ryan Sprankle and the folks at Sprankle's Neighborhood Market. You know the name, you know the hashtag, but do you really know Sprankle's Neighborhood Market? With 3 locations in Katanning, Leechburg, and Saxonburg, Sprankle's has several ways to serve you. Not only do they have a top-tier meat selection, but Sprankle's offers handmade sushi and boasts a deli that is chock full of the best meats and cheeses around. So if you're hungry, you can go to them in a breeze and fill that tummy of yours. And where you can always go to hashtag
save on the meat.
That's right.
Save on meat, not save on.
Yeah, no. We can put that. Here's a play outside, reaching for the pylon, and in is Doherty. And the Indians are on the board, 24-6. Much needed score there, Mason. Indiana going the first, what are we saying, 23 minutes and 20 seconds of this game without a point, and then Doherty able to punch it in there finally for Indiana right before the half. But,
this drive has to be like a work of art for Indiana. Yeah, you're down by this much, and yeah, you have the gutsy call to go for it, 4th and 5, with Armstrong threatening a goal line stand. But at the same point, you took all that time off the clock. There was 6.5 minutes on the clock when Indiana started to drive.
That's fair and all, but if you're Indiana at this point, that's the drive you want to take time off the clock. But moving forward, they're going to be conserving as much clock as possible, because something tells me Armstrong's not going to be content with scoring just 24 points, and you're going to have to match Armstrong, score for score here, and also have to hold that offense down certain moments of this game. So as far as conserving clock in that situation, sure, maybe. It was a good job by Indiana. Really what impressed me was just the array of plays. I think we saw a couple plays out of them that they were noticing were working, and they stuck with them. A couple screens, the option becoming more of an option, it seems, for Indiana on that drive in particular.
Somewhere the Armstrong needs to adapt to. There was 1 or 2 in the first couple drives, and then it's, hey, we found a hole.
Right, so it just seemed like Indiana, I don't want to say, I hate using the word found their identity, but they kind of did. They found something that worked for them and kept using it, and Armstrong did not have an answer. So 40 seconds left on the clock. Let's see what, 40 seconds for Caden Olson's like 4 minutes for some with that arm of his, and some of the threats that he is able to, or some of the threats that he has accompanying him. So kick is off, a little squib. This one's going to be brought in by Zablocki. Zablocki's going to to his right and be brought down at the 31-yard line with 35 seconds left. And that's where the Penn commit, Caden Olson, will take over. Mason, what's Penn's mascot?
Penn. Yeah, now we're asking the tough questions.
I mean, I don't know. Is it tough?
Not my most familiar school, but in about 30 seconds I'll be able to tell you.
They are the Quakers.
The Quakers, see.
I do believe. I could be wrong. You might want to still look it up. There's a flag. I think it's going to be off or against Indiana. There's a game. I'm trying to remember what it was for Armstrong this season where Caden Olson's hard count was just getting endless offside calls. So he must have a pretty strong. Oh, nope, they're going to call that against the Riverhawks. It looks like they're backing up.
Procedure penalty against Armstrong.
So legal procedure.
5 yards. First and
5-yard penalty will set the
for
Riverhawks back with 35 seconds. Was that right?
35, yep, the Quaker.
I thought so. Olsen's going to go deep. He's airing this one out. And Ian Olsen's able to bring it in. A little spin move. Tries to cut back outside. He gets a couple extra yards, and he's out at the 32-yard line. Ian Olsen, man, oh, man. Able to see that ball in. What a nice play there by Ian. It's so hard when you're trying to outrun your defender there like Ian Olsen was. Riverhawks quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Another throw down the. Here's Isaiah Brown wide open. He's in for 6. What did I say? He didn't even need all 40 seconds. He needed 23 of them, Mason, and the Riverhawks answer with a score of their own.
You can see the scoreboard in the back on the screen there. 2 plays, 75 yards.
I believe I did say 40 seconds is like 4 minutes for some others, and right there, Caden Olsen.
Lost 5 on the kickoff, so there's.
Yeah, and that's with a 5-yard procedure, illegal procedure penalty against the Riverhawks. First finding his brother Ian deep down the right sideline, and then quickly, I know they run a quick offense, but really quick to the line of scrimmage there, Mason, and throwing a beautiful pass once again to Isaiah Brown for 6, and Hunter Reed puts that through. So deflating certainly for Indiana after they had that impressive drive earlier. A long, methodical drive, as you mentioned, and Armstrong quickly takes those points right back, and they're back up by 24.
You heard the crowd. We heard some we heard some noise coming from right in front of us here, in the press box. But then now, I don't hear a peep.
Yeah, that's Caden Olsen does that to a lot of fan bases, and Isaiah Brown making a habit of it now too. And that's those two. They certainly have a chemistry, and
taking the breath away.
You know, sometimes it's what amazes me about Caden Olsen. I think at this point, after watching him as much as we have, is just how smart he is. You know, the arm speaks for itself, but the what's between the ears sometimes I think is just as good, if not better, than the arm itself. Is a smart player, and it shows. His ability to read defenses and get his team quickly to the line of scrimmage, like you saw there. Again, paying dividends for the Riverhawks as they, as I said, snatch back those points from Indiana. They got the kickoff. The kickoff was at 40 seconds after Indiana scored, and there's still 17 left on the clock as a fair catch taken by the Indians. An interesting kick there. A little pitching wedge right there, or sand wedge. And fair catch at the 38-yard line. That's where Smith and company will take over with 16 seconds left. Let's see what they draw up here with very little time left. I thank all you for tuning in here tonight. Certainly appreciate you spending your Friday with us here on High Top Sports Network and the Trib Live Sports Network. Indiana and Armstrong battling it out here. 31-7 though. Armstrong firmly in control, and there's a Doherty with a run. Whistle blows as he's met by 3 or 4 Riverhawks. McNeely, the first man on the scene. We mentioned his name quite a few times tonight, and that's going to do it here, Mason. Armstrong in control. The score 31-7 here at Indiana Area High School, and Armstrong will receive the kickoff to begin the second half as well. So see what the Indians can do to respond. Don't call them the little Indians. They're big now, okay?
Big.
They're big. They're big. They're not little anymore. So
we'll think of other. We'll think of some synonyms.
Yeah.
Plenty out there.
I like how in today's climate and the name Indians, it's like they thought, let's get rid of the little, not just the entire name. But I digress. But
adequately sized Indians.
Yes, but as we always do here in High Top, we will take a break, give the vocal cords a rest, and feature the bands because, as we say, they are just as much a part of the Friday night experience as the football. So we're going to tune out, and we will see you guys on the other side here on High Top Sports Network.
Good evening.
Two Bands Halftime Show. Thanks for listening to the Armstrong Marching Band. Before this year's halftime show, Memories in Black and White. Featuring My Chemical Romance's Welcome to the Black Parade, Music's Uprising, and Fall Out Boys, Thanks for the Memories. The band is under the student leadership of drum majors Emma Littell and Natalie Craple, drum captains David Louisa and Matthew McClafferty, and guard section leader Onyx Taylor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show this evening as the Armstrong Hawks Marching Band appears to be ready for their halftime performance. Drum majors Emma Littell and Natalie Craple, is your band ready? Go back to your 2007 as the band closes their halftime show with Fall Out Boys hit Thanks for the Memories. Armstrong, Riverhawks marching band. The Armstrong Riverhawks marching band is under the direction of Mr. Jason Vanesky, Assistant Director Mrs. Melissa Vanesky, Guard Instructors Mrs. Kara Smith and Mrs. Courtney Eiler, Drumline Instructor Mr. Rob Breen, Marching Instructor Mr. Jason Dakota, Rhythm Instructor Mrs. Charlene Dakota, Brass Instructor Mr. Lou Rybar, and Marching Instructor and the voice of the Riverhawks marching band, Mr. Tim Cannon. This is halftime drill is designed by Mr. Robert Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, the Armstrong Riverhawks marching band would like to thank you for your kind attention this season. Go Hawks!
Let's go, Adam!
Famous thanks to Fox's Pizza for sponsoring the concession stand pizza tonight. You have your 50-50 tickets there. They collected $833. The winner gets $417. The winning number 477925. 477925. Winner can get their winnings at the 50-50 table beside the concession stand. here at Indiana High School marching band. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2022 Indiana Senior High School Homecoming, presented by the Student Government Association. Homecoming is coordinated by Student Government Advisor Mr. Michael Burdick, as well as by Student Government President Caroline Albert and Vice President Kyla Weaver. Mr. Burdick would like to thank Mr. Eric Quistar for the many hours he spent filming and photographing in the weeks prior to homecoming, as well as for his work behind the scenes tonight. Mr. Burdick would also like to thank Principal Mr. William McElhaney, Assistant Principal Mr. Doug Johnson, Secretaries Mrs. Linda Schwartz and Mrs. Stephanie Gallo, Athletic Director Mr. Dan Rowan, Assistant Athletic Director Mr. Scott Shirley, and Marching Band Director Mr. Jason O'Lear for their help and support. On Thursday at the school pep rally, Gavin Homer was crowned the homecoming king. The members of the King's Court included Luca Constantino, Callan Romance, Jacob Rumford, and David Scardino. And now we will introduce the members of the IHS Homecoming Queen's Court. First is Macy Lorelli. She is the daughter of Amanda Lorelli. She is joined by her escort, Adam Coburn. In school, Macy is the Secretary of Technology Education Club. She is also a member of the Key Club Executive Board, Leadership Seminar, National Honor Society, Student Government Association, and is a senior class representative. She is a member of the IHS volleyball team, IHS dance team, and is a co-leader of the Rowdy Rooters. Outside of school, Macy dances at Sue Hewitt Dance Studio and plays at the Woodstock Volleyball Club. After high school, Macy hopes to attend a four-year university and play volleyball collegiately. In closing, Macy would like to thank the senior class for nominating her and say good luck to the rest of the court members. She hopes everyone has a safe and fun homecoming. Ladies and gentlemen, Macy Lorelli. Next is Sharice Milner. She is the daughter of Joe and Jill Milner. She is joined by her escort and King's Court member, Callan Romance. In school, Sharice is a member of the Leadership Seminar, IHS Ambassadors, Student Government Association, and Yearbook. Outside of school, Sharice dances at Studio Dance Studio and works at J.C. Penney. After school, Sharice plans to attend a four-year university. In closing, Sharice would like to thank her fellow classmates for nominating her and wish the other court members good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, Sharice Milner. Next is Adriana Petrov. She is the daughter of Daniel and Angela Petrov. She is joined by her escort and King's Court member, Gavin Homer. In school, Adriana is a member of Leadership Seminar, Student Government Association, and IHS Ambassadors. She was also selected to be part of the National Center on Education and the Economy at IUP. Outside of school, Adriana works at Lucy Ray, babysits, and attends St. Thomas More University Parish. After high school, Adriana plans to attend a four-year university majoring in marketing. In closing, Adriana wants to thank her friends and the IHS student body for their support. She also wants to give a special thank you to Paul McCune for driving her earlier this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Adriana Petrov. Next is Julia Runge. She is the daughter of Tim and Jean Runge. She is joined by her escort, Jacob Dill. In school, Julia is the president of the Science Club. She is also a member of the IHS volleyball team, Leadership Seminar, Spring Play, Fall Play Tech Crew, and National Honor Society. Outside of school, Julia works at the Meadows and enjoys skiing with her family. After high school, Julia plans to attend a four-year university. In closing, Julia would like to thank the rest of the senior class for voting for her and giving her this amazing opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, Julia Runge. Finally, we introduce Cadence Ullman. She is the daughter of Brad and Jennifer Raleigh and Clint and Jess Ullman. She is joined by her escort and King's Court member, David Scardino. In school, Cadence is a member of the National Honor Society, track team, and IHS Webcast crew member. She is also captain of the IHS girls soccer team. Outside of school, Cadence plays girls travel softball, works at University Stylist, and helps with Indiana Youth Soccer Camp. After high school, Cadence hopes to attend West Virginia University and major in business management. In closing, Cadence would like to thank her family, teachers, coaches, and friends for supporting her throughout the years. And a special thank you to David Scardina. Ladies and gentlemen, Cadence Allman. Congratulations to all the court members. Our 2022 homecoming queen will be crowned by last year's homecoming queen, Anna Marquita, joined by Noah Hutt, a member of last year's King's Court. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 homecoming queen is Julia Rucky. Congratulations to all court members. As we're still waiting for someone to claim that $417 in the 50-50 raffle, the winning number, 477925. Report to the concession stand, inside the concession stand, if you have the winning ticket, 477925.
All right, now that all the excitement's over, Mason, we can get back to the football, I suppose. A little bit of an elongated halftime, and I want to thank you all for sticking through it with us. Some of you I know enjoy it, some of you just here for the football, but we enjoy it all here in High Top Sports Network. Mason, an interesting first half, one pretty much dominated by the Riverhawks. Kind of a slow start offensively, but picking up as the half went on and finishing strong. Evident by that quick hitting touchdown that took less than, well, what did we say, 23 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, somewhere.
In response.
35 minus 17.
Yep, in response to the first Indiana touchdown. So, Mason, I think you have some numbers on the first half to share.
There's all kinds of stuff here. We'll break into it. I'll go with the rushing stats for Armstrong first. Who else but Patton? He's the one of two people to run the ball for the Riverhawks. Who, if it's not broke, why fix it? I have 6 carries for 59 yards from him, a long of 25. That was the touchdown we saw on the Riverhawks' second offensive play. Just found a hole right up the middle, walked right in. The only other Riverhawk to carry the ball tonight would be Caden Olson, who had a 4 or 5 yard quarterback sneak to give the Riverhawks a first down. And then on the passing yards, who else but Caden Olson putting up some pretty hefty numbers as we'd expect. 163 yards through the air so far. His leading receiver will be Isaiah Brown, who has 2 outstanding touchdown catches. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised. The athlete in Isaiah Brown, 3 catches for 68 yards for him, followed up by the younger Olson, Ian Olson, with a couple catches for 62 yards.
Well, thank you. Oh, Mason, you have more?
I got the Indiana side.
All right.
Let's go for it here.
Share your gift.
Yeah, the running game for Indiana, not very strong. The Armstrong front 7 has done a good job of containing them. The quarterback, Trevor Smith, has kept the ball 5 times for 13 yards. And Daugherty, the main runner so far tonight for Indiana, has a bunch of carries, but only 8 yards net. So early on, he had no luck. He was tackled in the backfield many times. But either way, if you take that, he lost yards twice. So if you want to factor those out, go ahead and give him 14 or 15, depending on who you ask up here. Connor Jacobs has a 4-yard run, and I have Porter for 18 yards on the ground. But Daugherty with the 5-yard, his last run of 5-yarder was for the Indiana touchdown. The passer on the night, Trevor Smith, the quarterback, and 10 completions, 85 yards. And we would keep talking about who else his favorite connection, James Mill. The junior, sizable junior as well, 6'2", 175. He's caught 6 balls for 63 yards. And I have to look and see if he's every time it's 5 yards, and then maybe he'll get a full first down with a 10, 11-yard catch. The longest completion on the day would be a 16-yarder, though, to Kauchek.
I believe that was that play on that last drive where he did a little spin move right at midfield and was able to pick up a couple extra yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe that was it. It should not have been that long of a catch, but juking out 3 or 4 guys. Just walk your way another 5 or 6 yards. That's yards after the catch. And if you
little yak.
You get yards after the catch, why not get that second win?
Yeah, absolutely. And, a lot of the offense that we saw from Indiana really taking place in that final drive of their of the first half, that they were able to finally put 7 points on the scoreboard. Otherwise, Armstrong really doing a good job. Again, Indiana able to pick up some yards on first and second down, but when it came time to really clamp down, the Armstrong defense doing a terrific job on third down and forcing several Indiana punts here tonight. And
guess that concludes the YMCA halftime show.
Yep.
Got the graphic down there. My new karaoke song.
Okay. Again, you're just surprising me left and right here tonight, Mace, so I appreciate it. Have you tried the golf simulator yet? That's the question at the YMCA. I'm gonna guess no. Kai Klein with a big run up the middle, past midfield. Well, right at midfield, down at the 50-yard line. So by virtue of Indiana getting the kickoff in the first half, Armstrong getting it to start here already with a 24-point lead. And great field position to start for Caden Olson and the Hawks.
Shot out of a cannon right there, and all kinds of surprises. I surprised Joe on one side, then the other side, Klein surprised him with a run up the middle to the 50-yard line.
Kai Klein is one of those guys I think is going to be huge for them moving down the stretch here. One of those X factors as you see him in motion here. The ball snapped. Olson's going to hand it off to Patton. Cut back to his left. Nice little juke, but quickly converging as the Indiana defense. But yeah, back to Kai Klein. Very skilled, very athletic. His athleticism very evident watching him play. And
only a sophomore, too.
He's only a sophomore, right? And he plays both sides of the ball. But really, what he's able to do defensively sometimes is just mind-boggling for a sophomore. And so he's going to be, and we've seen him grow, just like we've seen Ian Olson week to week to week. So it's going to be interesting to watch his progression over the remainder of the season and watch his contributions, just like that young man who just caught the ball, Ian Olson. A couple young guys that have big roles in this team and certainly can have a big impact on how far this Armstrong team's able to go. Certainly looking like a top 4 team in 4A. You got Aliquippa and the like. But we saw what Armstrong did against Aliquippa this year, certainly able to hang with them. Nice little pump fake there by Olson, trying to change the route. He throws on the run. That one almost picked off. He was trying to kind of pull a big bend there and signal with his receiver. It happened to be Ian, his brother, and told him to get going. But also there alongside Ian was Brocious on the coverage there. He saw the gesture that Caden made to go deep, and he was right there with Ian step for step. So now a 4th and 6. Only 3 yards gained so far on this drive for the Riverhawks.
With the 4th down, it would only be the second time the Riverhawks punted if they chose to do so.
And that's the thing. We've seen, as you see, Crispin come on now.
There we go. Let's get.
So it's going to be one of those Caden Olson little pooch punts that maybe. Or no, Crispin will get it. High punt. No one back there. This one going to take a Indiana bounce and snatched up by Dozick Zablocki. You saw sprint out on the field there right before the play was snapped. Mason, you good? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, there's a 7.
There we go.
There we go. Thank you, Mason.
Yeah.
Keen eye right there. But
man, what's going on?
So the third quarter is upon us. It is an AIA, Armstrong Indoor Athletics third quarter. Thank you again to the fine baseball and softball playing folks at Armstrong Indoor Athletic. Again, you said it, I want to say it again. Thank you to the Richard G. Snyder YMCA for their sponsorship of the halftime show. Again, the golf simulator and personal training. Big thing right now in the fall. We're going to have a long drive competition at the YMCA, so make sure you check that out. It'll be broadcast on High Top Sports Network, as a matter of fact. So some cool things happening down at the RGS YMCA. Short gain there on the first play of the second half offensively for the Indians. Don't call them little. Big Indians.
Adequately sized.
Yep, they're not little anymore.
I think I saw somewhere on one post it was little still.
I kind of liked it. It was endearing. And that one thrown in just tons of traffic, more Riverhawks in the area than black jerseys. Nobody really looking for the ball. Everybody watching the receiver. It was Kowchuk who was the intended target, but that one, risky business. Not the movie, just a risky play.
No puns.
I'm not even sure I've seen the movie Risky Business. I think it's Tom Cruise, but I'm not sure. Anyway, ball snapped Smith. I almost said Alex Smith. Smith outside. Nice little burst right there, but then he's just met with authority by Isaiah Brown at the 17-yard line. I'll say about 10 yards still short. 18-yard line, about 9 yards short of a. All right, take it back. It's a 4th and 5, so 5 yards short. My math sometimes fails me, as you can hear right there, Mason. So a punt by the Indians is expected as Kowchuk is back again. And back deep for the Riverhawks is Kyan Klein and Ian Olson. Easy to tell those guys are 1 and 2, respectively, on their uniforms. Oh, Ian bobbles that one, then falls on top of it, luckily. Only really loses about 5 yards from where he originally touched that, and still pretty solid field position for the Armstrong offense here at their own 46-yard line, we'll say.
It's good. It looks like he got a hand on it. Instead of hitting his hand and going backward, it just hit it, went off to the side a little bit. So you're right, Joe, about 5 yards lost, but what could have been 15, 20, just
or a
throw it back
turnover.
to the 20.
Or a turnover, for that matter.
Oh, of course, if there was two guys that were right on top of him.
Low snap again. Olsen's able to bring this one in. Surveying, looks across the middle of the field. Here's high throw. Ooh, and Isaiah Brown looked like it got him in the hands. That was about the only place that I felt like Caden Olsen could have thrown that. And
looks definitely one that he wants another shot at.
yeah, you could tell by the way that Brown reacted there that he wanted that one back. But instead, it'll be a 2nd and 10 here with 9:02 left in the third quarter here at Indiana Area High School. There's a little screen outside. I think that was Klein. Oh, sorry, that's Chase Jablonski, number 14.
A little bit of trickery pulled out by the Riverhawks.
So quickly back to the line here are the Riverhawks. We've seen them do this a couple times. As much as their offense is predicated on moving quickly, there's been a couple times they've really gotten up to the line of scrimmage and gotten a play off. But here they are looking for a change in the play, looking to the sideline. Game clock at 8:22. Play clock down to 8 seconds. Snap by Olsen. There's pressure. He's going to throw. Finds the receiver. Able to cut back and get to the 38 for a first down. Was number 10. That was Joe Bartolowitz. And we've seen that young man's role kind of expand more and more. And it shows you a lot that Caden Olsen's willing to throw to him on a crucial down like that and trust the young receiver to come up with the play as he did there. Again, Armstrong, the way they spread it out, they're a hard team to scout for. They're not afraid to throw it to anybody. And when your quarterback's able to put it on people like Caden Olsen does, it doesn't really matter. As long as you have hands, you could probably, oh, Kyan Klein making some moves. He's outside past the 15, down to the 10, down to the 8. What a nice play by Kyan Klein. There's that agility and athleticism that we talked about earlier on, Mason. Didn't even get to finish my point. Kyan Klein still in the show here. Just athleticism. Give the kid the ball in open space.
Blocking, creating that space for him to make those juke moves.
And yet,
Anytime you see a play like that, that's more. I might argue that's more exciting than a long strike down the field.
you make a great point, too. This offensive line doesn't get enough credit for its ability to block downfield. We've seen it a lot of times this year. There's a run by the general, but he is stacked up at about, let's say, the 9-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, they're going to say maybe a gain of 1. One of the shorter runs of the night for
Patton.
General Patton.
He's been kept to 2 twice.
I wonder if he likes that nickname. I bet he probably he goes back and watches these games. He probably just despises us, especially me, because I use it more often than probably anybody.
Who do you think
He's my name's Alex. I'm not General. Who knows? Maybe he loves it. Who knows? I think it's endearing. There's a slant. Bobble around and then picked off, I think. They're going to say it is indeed. Ball popped up. The slant by Ian Olsen and tipped up, and they're going to say it was brought in. It looked pretty darn close. But, man, oh, man, that talk about
Isaac Ngren, 32?
yeah, but talk about a play when you need it. Armstrong's driving, already up by 24. 6:30 left here in the third quarter, and just as it seems Armstrong's about to drive for another touchdown, you're able to have good coverage there on Ian Olsen and get that ball to pop up into the air and scoop it, apparently scoop it, and turn it over. And there's a safety, and Armstrong, there's that front 7 again, a safety. So 2 points to the Riverhawks. The rare safety, first I've seen this year so far, Mason. And
there was one in the Kiski game a while, the first, not the first, week 1, so not the first game of the year.
Okay. I have not yet had the pleasure of going to a Cavaliers game this year, so I've mostly been here on the Armstrong beat. And
week 10, big rivalry matchup. Two more close teams.
Cavaliers on the High Top Sports Network as well tonight. I believe they're facing Mars, if I'm not mistaken.
It's another tough 4A team within the conference.
Then Freeport, we have that on the network tonight. They're playing East Allegheny, is it?
East Allegheny.
There's all kinds of Alleghenies. I always get them confused.
And then West Shamokin and Northern Cambria.
That's right.
I said
up
the
past
full Northern
Mahaffey
this time too.
That's another. If you're around this area, you know. See, I can actually talk to this crowd. They know who the Heritage Conference is because the Heritage Conference is very thick in this county. And you know, when I call a game at Shadyside Academy and I talk about the Heritage Conference, nobody knows what I'm talking about, Mason.
As we mentioned, Mars.
Armstrong. Yeah, Armstrong's had a game, I do believe, in hand on the fighting Planets.
Next week is Mars.
Yep, on homecoming week for the Riverhawks. Don't call them fighting. They're fighting. It's just it ends with an N.
Get the G out of there.
Get it out of there. It doesn't belong.
Very Pittsburghese.
I like it, and that's literally the official spelling. Don't call them the Fighting Planets. Ooh, that little ping pong there, picked up by number 22 for the Riverhawks. He's got a seam. He's going to bounce off a tackler and be brought down at the 21-yard line. So the punt kickoff here because of the safety. That was Rex Harmon. Bowls his way down to the 21-yard line. Harmon, an impressive little return there, and the safety kickoff, the rare safety kickoff.
Fourth time that Armstrong has been given an offensive possession.
Well, this is a little unique because you're punting so far back.
Just back, like down around the 30 or inside the 30. They had one outside the 30, so I can't say in the 30.
Olsen's going to look for the end zone. Jump ball for Isaiah Brown. And they're going to say no. Man, oh man, I thought you only had to get 1 foot in high school. That was darn close. No argument from Brown, so they will.
He'll find a better ball to catch.
And he really likes this left side here. You never really see Isaiah making that play here at the top of your screen or going on the right side of the line of scrimmage. He's going to go to hit the left again. This time it's Klein and get him the ball in the open space. Makes a couple guys miss. Puts his head down to the 5-2. And Armstrong will be set up with a 1st and goal here now with 5:58 left in the third quarter, and well, there they are. Oh, no, they're gonna actually huddle up a little bit. They will have a couple cracks at the end zone here with the third quarter ticking away, and now ownership of a 26-point advantage. Their little pitch to the general. It does a spin move. Alex Patton in for 6. A nice little spin move at the end by Patton, and that puts the Riverhawks up now by an even, well, no, I take that back. My math, again, just terrible, folks. They are up by 32. Because if you take 7 from 39, you know what that makes, Mason? 32.
32. Well, got an extra point coming, so.
And make it 33, I believe, if I'm correct.
Didn't need the equation this time.
Nope. You know what I always loved? Remember when your teachers, maybe you're a little bit younger, obviously, than I am, but my teachers, I remember them saying, you know what, don't get used to having a calculator. You know, don't get dependent upon a calculator. You're not going to be able to take one with you everywhere. Like, I know there's a lot of people that got told that from their teachers. You know what? Guess what I take everywhere with me now, Mason? It's 2022. I take a calculator everywhere. It's called my cell phone.
Calculator.
So I'm not going to name any. Oops.
Calculator.
I'm not going to name anybody.
Cellular device.
I'm not going to call anybody out here, but I'm just going to say to my former math teachers, wrong. I do get to take a calculator with me everywhere. It's called a cell phone.
Well, Mr. Flanders himself at Freeport told me to kind of use one. I think he explained it's all right. I'm not sure. I got to think which teacher it was.
We're not calling anybody out by name.
Calculator at the beginning of class. It was a more advanced class. I think it was trigonometry. So understandable.
Yeah, I can't even say that, let alone take the class. So back to the sports, why don't we? It'll be Hunter Reed to kick off after another score by the Riverhawks. This time coming from Alex Patton. A little run and spin move in, camping under it here and taking it from the 15. The little Indians. See, I did it again. They're just the Indians. They're not little anymore.
I forget. You said the word little a while ago, and I forget what I was going to say. But just wait until you brought it up again.
So the ball was placed at the 32. Armstrong comfortably ahead by 33.
Okay, I remember now. You were saying something about growing up. But it wasn't revolving around the Indians.
Man, I'm sorry?
You said something about growing up or grown up or older, but you did.
Oh yeah, like think about it. Like smartphones were like happening when I was in like telling a high school, early college, like in middle college. Ooh, there's a big hit over the middle of the field. Kalchuk smacked by a pair of Riverhawks that looked like Klein and Isaiah Brown. But a great throw there by Smith to find Kalchuk, and Kalchuk showing some athleticism certainly tonight. He's had some bright moments. The junior, 6'3", 180, listed as a wide receiver and D-back. Not the baseball team, a defensive back. Snap, a lot of pressure here, a little screen. Saw that play on that drive that they scored this time. Riverhawks, all over it. But it's almost like a little bit of a, it's a screen for sure, but it's you see that receiver kind of come towards the middle of the field and kind of trying to kind of catch him in stride. And that time the Riverhawks able to eat it up as the clock nears the 4-minute 30 mark here in quarter number 3. Mason Flanagan, Joe Rhodes bringing you Whitfield football. That one picked off by Ian Olsen, jumping the route. He's going to take it the whole way back, the 20, the 10, the 5. Ian Olsen picks 6 for a touchdown.
Wow, just right. He read that perfectly. It's turnaround. It's not even one of those where you catch the ball and it's, oh, look what I found. It's thank you very much. I'm going to take the sideline.
That was beautifully done, jumping the route there. And what wasn't a soft throw. It's not like there was a ton of time to get under that or get in front of it. Just kind of read the quarterback's eyes there, and Ian Olsen able to take that one back to the house and tack on 6 more for the Riverhawks. And now Hunter Reed tacks on another, and the Hawks now up by 40, 47.
Indians 7.
2-7. Man, not a good start to this second half. Really, we're way more there, about 2/3 the way through the third quarter, and really, it's 100% Armstrong here. And man, oh man, if you're Indiana, you're just trying to find something to hold on to here in this second half, because you ended that first half in such a positive note in a way, and then with that nice offensive drive and some really well-called plays and schemed-up plays, and then really here Armstrong is kind of boat racing here in the second half here. Now leading by 40.
It seems like Indiana struggled coming out of the locker room. Starting off the game, just the defense hasn't been able to figure out the Riverhawks. Come out of the second half, the Riverhawks come out. They've scored pick 6 and a safety, so that's 9 points.
In the general. I'm forgetting about the general.
Yeah, and the general too. I was getting to
So
him.
there's, yeah.
That's 9 points for the defense. And
So that one nearly going out of bounds, but instead picked up and taken out to the 22-yard line. That's where the Indians will take over with 4:08 left. And Joe Bartolowitz and
Indiana starts 1st and 10.
another Riverhawk there on the tackle.
Ball on their 22-yard line.
but it's a defense now coming out, putting on a show. They're beating Indiana by themselves as well.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. I was kind of thinking to myself today, not that this is a huge factor or something I thought would be something too noteworthy, but I wanted to see how guys did tonight. Your first really cold night of the year. I feel like this has been we've had
It's definitely the coldest.
we've had some pretty pleasant Fridays here so far to start this football season. Here we are, week 6, and it is not warm. It is it's really the opposite of that. It's really cold, and I hate it.
That's why you got sleeves. Flannel season is back. Is finally back. I feel like I missed the memo for the start of that, but there's a bunch in the stands here. There's a bunch back home.
A lot of sock hats. That's there's Dozic Zablocki in on a tackle along with 76 and 22, and Armstrong with that 40-point lead. That'll have a running clock now moving forward for the remainder of this game, and wonder how much we're going to see some backups, including the Magician, as I like to fondly call him. You know who the Magician is?
Coach Smacker.
That's correct. Colt Sprankle, the Magician. Now you see him, now you don't. Pulls rabbits out of hats in real life. Never seen it? Ask him. It's a real thing. Another nice stop there by the Riverhawks for very little gain.
Well, you know, when you show that when Ryan Sprank was your dad, you know,
Oh yeah, you've got personality. Let's
you
just say
have all
that.
there's tricks up your sleeve that.
And then Cam, she's organizing all the themed. They have that
I don't know. I forget the official name for it.
It was the night when they had the giant can of Raid that was smoking. That was pretty impressive.
Student section.
If I would have done that when I was in high school, you know, just a whole half century ago or whatever it was now, I would have been like booted out. I just feel like times have changed so much. It's amazing.
It's the Armstrong Armada.
Yeah,
Okay.
Armada, indeed.
It's been a minute since I was a member of the.
What do you mean? You're like four years removed. So a punt by Kalchuk upcoming. Looked like somebody might have jumped the snap, but not called. And there's Klein, who bobbles it, but able to secure it. And he brings it in at the 41-yard line, Mason, and that's where the Armstrong offense will come back out on the field. And I bet if you're Caden Olsen, yep, he looks like he's going out there. I'm sure he wants to help add to his numbers. Again, he's, I think, came into the night the Whippeal, second in the Whippeal in passing.
Let me crunch some numbers here.
Please do. I'm gonna. While you do that, I'm gonna thank our good friend Dr. Justin DeMond. Are you suffering from hip pain, sciatica, burning in the leg, or tingling in the feet? DeMond Chiropractic Center can and will help you get back to a more active and normal life. You deserve to enjoy it and have a pain-free life. Besides, you need your full mobility. And Dr. Justin DeMond and the fine people at DeMond Chiropractic Center have been serving the area for over 75 years. That's a long time. And Dr. Justin DeMond, a third-generation doctor. he carries on the family tradition today with a focus on helping you avoid surgery by using his chiropractic skills. And an interception there. A turnover by Caden Olson. You know, as great as Caden Olson is, that's Brocious there with the interception. As great as Caden Olson is, this has got to be a career high in interceptions that he has.
He came in with 5 on the season, and
5?
he's thrown 3 tonight.
I don't think that number's correct, Mason. No. Yeah, I have a hard time believing. I think there was a game where I saw him have 3.
Well, he has 3 tonight.
Yeah, that number's incorrect. So, yeah, maybe we can find that number. It's probably on Huddle or all these different sites, and half of them are correct. There's a nice run up the middle for the Indians. That's James Mill, or excuse me, Levi Porter, the freshman. It's a big freshman, 6'1", 180. If you know that when I was a freshman, Mason, I was I didn't hit my ground. I'm obviously like 6'4"ish now, but my freshman year I was 5'8", 215.
So I was going to say about a foot difference, but not quite a foot.
5'8", 215 my freshman year. I was a big kid, like, you know, horizontally, not vertically. That came later.
So as long as the vertical leap comes.
Oh yeah, that came about my sophomore year. First dunk, sophomore year. That is the end of the third quarter. Speaking of dunks, I want to thank another sponsor who know how to really slam dunk it in terms of their services, and one that knows how to really do so. Mason, what? You good?
I was looking for the graphic.
Oh no, you're good. We were actually using a backup computer tonight, folks. So if you haven't seen as many graphics or as many commercials, that's why we had to kind of throw it together. But you guys care about the action, not necessarily our commercials, even though our sponsors mean everything to us, and they are why you guys get to watch it for free. But again, as I was saying, the dunking it and throwing it down, Shop and Save at Franklin Village, they know how to throw it down with the deals and just a terrific selection of goods there. The bakery is one of my favorite things there at Shop and Save. Make sure you stop in there. And then the fuel center, people don't realize that's open 24 hours a day, so you don't just have to go to Sheets. And I have nothing against Sheets, don't get me wrong. But, you know, if you're in that Franklin Village Plaza area, there's a carry by the Indians as the clock is rolling. But if you are in that Franklin Village Plaza area and it's late and your needle's on E and you got the light on your dash, you might as well just swing in there because they're open 24 hours a day. I've used it, believe it or not.
Don't risk it. Fill it up.
Actually, just so I could say it online, I waited to run out of gas at 12 o'clock at night at Franklin Village Plaza. You know, just to make a point. So some new names on the field for both teams, it looks like.
Second and 6 for Indiana. Ball on the 49-yard line.
Ball's at the 49-yard line. A 2nd and 6, 11 minutes remaining. Oops, sorry, Mason. That's his fourth quarter. Thank you. And really, Armstrong showing why I believe they're a top 4 team, certainly in the Class 4 bracket here. And they're obviously playoff bound, and a big game next week. That's going to be a really telling game. I think we're going to know a lot about both Armstrong and Mars after that game, Mason.
Mars and Highlands.
Highlands is an excellent team too. They've got a really great group, and we went down there last year, and they were still kind of a young team, still trying to find their identity. Were the Golden Rams, and they really impressed me. What did impress me was the kid down in the street that was launching 20-ounce bottles of pop-up at me. This is a true story. I was with Doug Flanners and Ryan Burns. And, there's a play we were just talking about today. That was a forward lateral. Such a hard play. We were talking about this exact play real quickly before I get back to the kid launching pop bottles. There's so much pressure on a receiver. You have to throw that quickly and throw it accurately. And a lot of times you'll see the throw either be bad or the catch because it's such a underused play, of course. And was it you that was saying that everybody should know how to throw the ball 15 yards or something like that?
I thought you figure at this point everybody should know how to throw the spiral. Almost everybody will know how to play catch, but you know, doing it at that level.
4th and 5. Nowhere to go, but he's going to cut it back. He might have a chance here. He picks up a big block. He's going to get the first down. What a nice cut back there by James Mill, who's down out of the 20-yard line. I'll say 22-yard line, but boy, oh boy, he looked like he was stacked up and going nowhere, and Mill able to turn nothing into something. And he gives the Indians a 1st and 10 at the 24. Nifty little play there by Mill. James Mill, a fun player to watch. Or I'm sorry, that was Levi Porter. I apologize, I believe. Was that number 2, Mason?
7.
That was 7 who ran that? I can't, these numbers.
But this time it's 3.
Oh, who ran that last one?
7.
That was 7 for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to give credit where credit's due. That was Garrison Doherty. Doherty, excuse me. Doherty's that band, right? It was popular a few years. Doherty, thank you. Yeah.
It's easy to tell. 3 Mill has the pink sleeve.
These
7
numbers
doesn't, and both numbers look pretty similar.
The 2 even looks kind of like a 7 here in these uniforms because they're so condensed. Do like the black, all black, a little bit of red down the pants. There's a keeper by the quarterback. He's going to get outside, and he's wide open. Number 3 in the end zone, not even looking for him. And that's a touchdown by number 15, Liam McFarland, the senior. 5'9", 170, able to scamper into the end zone. 4-6. Here was 7:50 left. A touchdown run for the Indians. Nice little, nothing else, a little moral boost. Oops. Especially the good blocking on that play. It's always fun to watch these receivers and guys on the outside do some blocking. And right there, some great seals to allow McFarland to get the pay dirt. Who do you think came up with that word, Mason? Pay dirt.
Pay dirt. I have a feeling that you know it.
No, I actually do not know this. I wish I did. What? Just because I know Ivy League mascots, you think I know who came up with the term pay dirt? I don't.
It sounds like a very high. It sounds like a high society word, but it also could just be.
I think it sounds like the opposite. Pay dirt. It's dirt. D-I-R-T. I'll admit this. I'll plead my ignorance. I actually used to think it was called payder, like P-A-Y-D-E-R, but it's pay dirt, like the mud or dirt. But yeah, another word for scoring a touchdown.
There you go. Got it. As long as it's got the prefix pay in it.
Yes.
Good thing.
So the Riverhawks giving up their 2nd touchdown of the game, and here are certainly some different players in the field, and maybe some JV guys getting a shot, some younger guys getting a shot here in the latter stage of this one, but don't have any other scores for you.
Other scores, I'll start looking here.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull it up here on the computer. I hate doing it because we're running off a hotspot here, believe it or not. Nice run back for the Riverhawks. They're going to start again in Indiana territory. That's been a theme here tonight, Mason, and once again, that'll be the case. Try to get some scores for the fine people out there. We've got a couple games going on. I'm kind of curious about some of those scores myself. Your score 47-13.
14. Yeah.
Or 14, excuse me. I'll change that here in a moment. Just want to get some scores. So that one's in the 3rd quarter at Mars. Looks like it's 40-14 in favor of the Fightin' Planets. Not fighting. Fightin'. So not a good night to be a Cavs fan. And West Shamokin, Northern Cambria, it is the Colts leading early in the 4th quarter, 28-19. So it looks like a good one happening there in Northern Cambria.
You mentioned Colts. So speaking of Colts, is out in the field. The Magician has entered the game.
Yep, the Magician is in, number 12.
So that ends the night on Caden Olson. 233 yards through the air, 3 interceptions, a couple really nice touchdown passes to Isaiah Brown.
Yeah, and that one touchdown here's a nice run. Keeps the legs moving there. I believe that's Harmon. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Phoenix Winecoop. Saw him get a touchdown a couple weeks back and mop-up duty, along with the magician. Now you see him, now you don't. Number 12, number 1 in your hearts. Magic Man.
All kinds of nicknames.
Magic Man, magician, same thing. He does magic. He can make things disappear. He can levitate. And there's Winecoop again. Brought down a little awkwardly there, but just trying to milk some clock here. The scoreboard here at Indiana reads 5:43 left in this fourth quarter. And we gave you 2 scores. There's 1 more left. Freeport leading by 8 against East Allegheny, so a really good one there. So, again, if you're tired of listening to me, there's other games. You should go listen to those. Some random Heritage Conference scores. Penns Manor 34, Portage 21 at the end of the third quarter. I guess this is a crowd that actually cares about so we had some Indiana people maybe tuning in. I mean, they know where the Heritage is.
Yeah, I remember. I think this might make me sound a little older, but
Okay.
I remember when Western American was joining the Heritage Conference, and not that long ago, but
2017, I want to say.
It was more of who are they? Who's the Heritage Conference? And
the Marion Center Stingers being one of them. Place I know. I was a Stinger. We weren't the. That's the cool thing about us. We are not just the B. We're the butt end. We're the Stinger. We're not the B. We're the Stinger part.
Stinger.
Right. Because who wants to be the whole B when you can just be the Stinger?
It's the scariest part.
I would concur. Is there really any other scary parts of a B?
Don't look it in the eyes.
Okay, I'll remember that next time I decide to contemplate the idea. Run back again. Talk about a couple plays where we've had Indians be able to cut it back for some nice gains. There's a late tackle, look like. Porter. Nice play there. Joe Bartolowicz on the tackle. And their first down by the Indians. 4:25 left. Clock ticking away here. No hurry, really, either of these teams. They want to get out of here unscathed. The Indians.
Yeah, that's a big thing. No matter what coach you talk to, getting out of these games without an injury, winning is ultimately number 1. But getting out of there healthy, especially in the cold where you take a hit,
Oh yeah,
that hurts a lot more. And getting the win, getting out of here healthy, even if you're the team on the bottom, the next week's a whole new week. It's still, even though it's week 6, you still have the opportunity, maybe playoffs, couple more weeks, potentially some big rivalry games for some teams.
certainly.
There's always something you don't. That's why you pull some of the starters, let some guys get some experience. At the same time, keep them healthy.
Right, absolutely. And you said it there. There's some rivalry games in Armstrong. Really, the big games remaining on their schedule: Mars and Highlands. You know, Kiski area, although they're having sort of a tough go right now. When you play a rival, all bets are off. So Armstrong, some really important games. That's the season finale at Armstrong when the Cavaliers make a trip up 66 to visit their neighbors.
Yeah, something I like about this 4A Greater Allegheny Conference is a lot of closeness. No, you're not traveling hours away. It's teams. It's teams you don't really have to look up where's the school at. I know where Highlands is. I know where.
Hey, where's Albert Gallatin? You know,
I mean, it's been a while. It's been a minute. So North Catholic's a team. Not really sure, but I know it's Cranberry Township.
Yeah, we were High Top Sports Network was there a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I want to say. Or no? Were we?
Fans, remember,
No, we weren't. They told us that we were. They couldn't promise us electric, which is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, so
Next time somebody says that to me, I'm going to say I'm going to bring my own, and I'm going to bring a generator because we have one,
tonight's game.
and I have a couple PSUs, which are power supply units. Obviously, as you would have guessed from the acronym, and I'm just going to start bringing those. Like anytime somebody says, "I can't promise you electric," well, I'll bring
bring
my
a backup of everything. Brought
Yep.
a backup computer.
own. Yep. Oh yeah.
Back up everything. Bring a generator in a background. A backup generator.
Absolutely.
Bring a bus.
Yeah, a bucket truck. Talked about a bucket truck. A couple events we've done would have been nice. But certainly looking forward to the winter months. I'm a basketball guy, as you know. Not that I'm wishing football season away. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. It's been a great football season, not just here at Armstrong and the success they've had and the fun it's been to watch them, but Freeport, a one-loss season. They're winning right now, trying to keep it that way. And West Shamokin playing in a couple big games, and they're certainly in the playoff hunt. And Lou Swartz having a great year there for the Wolves. So there's been a couple really noteworthy games. And heck, we get to watch Caden Olson this final year before he goes and plays at Penn, the second in the Whitfield right now in passing. So we're really fortunate with the teams that we cover in the area that we do to really catch some really quality teams and quality players right now. And looking forward to this final stretch run before we put an end to the fall and snow starts falling and the hoop starts up.
That's enough talking snow, Joe.
Yeah, I don't like it either. But we do want to note that we're going to try to start our hockey coverage here. I know we weren't able to go to opening night last night, some other obligations. But also, too, we looking for some sponsors for hockey. So if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, make sure you reach out to us at High Top Sports Network at 724-824-3554 or our email.
That's
Electronic mail, as they call it.
That's an acceptable code inside the Belmont. Going in there for a hockey game.
Yeah, depends on who you are. But nice cut back there again by 2. Whoa! Wow. Is right. A couple nice moves and eventually just one too many jukes. And about 22 yards worth of jukes and about a gain of 1. But as I was saying, 724-824-3554 or message us on our website, hightopsportsnetwork.com, or send us an email. My email's very easy. It's joe@hightopsportsnetwork.com. You can email me if you'd like, or you can just send it to our general email, which is staff@hightopsportsnetwork.com, and show you our analytics. We're having a great year so far this football season. Looking down at our numbers, and of course we are tag teaming with the Trib Live Sports Network, so getting some views on there as well. But if I were just to take the numbers we have on our site alone, I'd be quite happy with these. So, yeah, and you want to get your message out, get it out to thousands of folks who are right there in your backyard and are listening right now, just like yourself.
Nice break up there, Evan Stahl. The junior
Going to be the end of the ball game.
coming up to smack the pass down and end the game.
Well, we're going to make an abbreviated postgame for this because I don't know if we even have a postgame sponsor tonight, do we? Really, we're going to give everybody the... I want to thank... was it postgame? Yes. No, okay, so there's postgame. Oh, it's Sprinkles Neighborhood Market where you can hashtag SaveOn. That's right. Thank you to Sprinkles Neighborhood Market where you can always hashtag SaveOnMeat. Hashtag SaveOnSushi on the Wednesdays. $5 sushi rolls. Count it. That's where I got to be getting to. I've been craving sushi lately, so I'll be heading that way here one of these Wednesdays. And, of course, many other things there. They got the meat vault, I believe it is, in Saxonburg, where it's the aged meats. Really cool, just a cool site to check out. And then they have the brewery there at Saxonburg as well, where you can have a cool one. Let the wife go shopping. Yeah, let the wife do the shopping. Go have a cold one and kick back. And so many different things there at Sprinkles Neighborhood Market. And then the Pennsylvania game machines. Can't forget about those. And just an awesome place run by awesome people. Quality products at Sprinkles Neighborhood Market. Also want to thank, we're going to get to it here for the drive of the game, Schaefer's HVAC. It's cold. Get heat on. If your heat doesn't work, there's only one place to call, Schaefer's HVAC. Since 1973, they've been fixing heat. What can I say? If you've been around that long, you're doing something right.
Oh, of course. You know,
Like if you're living and you're born in 1973, you're doing something right.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Let alone owning a business that long.
There's nobody to call. If you're feeling cold, just give Schaefer's a call. I'm sure they'll warm you up.
And guess what's going to happen in like 9 months, or in Pennsylvania terms, like in 10 years, it's going to get warm again, and you're going to need air conditioning. And guess what they do? They do air conditioning.
Wow,
So
really?
it's amazing. It's incredible.
Heat and air
Talk about
conditioning small trade.
a smart business. But anyways, they are our friends at Schaefer's. Thank you again for your contributions to High Top Sports Network and your support of us broadcasting these young student athletes. Last but not least, we got our player of the game. That's Franklin Village Shop and Save, where if you need gas really late, your only option isn't Sheets. Franklin Village Shop and Save. Get some food, get some gas. You get fuel perks there as well. So kind of a fuel perky system there you got. Fuel perky, if that's a word.
It's a new word.
It is. And
we're making them up like it's another job today.
so anyways, quickly abbreviated post-game drive of the game. I'm going to go with the very first drive, and that's kind of a cop-out. Sounds like a cop-out, but when you're able to score, get the turnover, and then capitalize on just 2 plays from, I believe, about 40 yards out. I want to say they were about the 38, I want to say, so you're able to come.
I have the 35 or the 36.
35, 36, so there you go. Yeah, you're able to cover that span in 2 plays and just kind of put your stamp on the game, and that's what the Riverhawks did there. So
yeah, there's that one, then there's the 20-some seconds it took Caden Olsen to walk down the field. 2 plays there to get the one last touchdown before the half. But I got to go either side of the coin there, Joe. That's it. That's your drive of the game.
My player of the game. My play of the game is also has to do with my player of the game, so I'll name them both at the same time. Play of the game is that Isaiah Brown juggle catch. Just unbelievable, insane. Just stuff you're not supposed to be able to do. That young man just continues to show week by week that he's one of the best receivers in the WPIAL. So Isaiah Brown's bobble catch in the end zone from the bomb from Caden Olsen is my play of the game. And then that young man staying healthy this year and looking good while he does it. Isaiah Brown, tonight's Shop and Save at Franklin Village, player of the game.
Can't forget to mention that Brown 3 touchdowns, close to 100 yards caught in the air. So
another day's work.
Just, easy week.
Yep.
We'll see you next week.
Yep. And we will see all you folks next week. We have another full slate of games, so we urge you to check it out. We're going to try to get some stuff, fun stuff that we've been planning throughout the week here upcoming. Some giveaways, some really cool stuff. If somebody wants a sound bar, you better be paying attention because we have those, and we're going to be giving away, Mason. And some other fun stuff. We're going to be doing something with Sprankles as well. Some food-related giveaways, so make sure you check us out. It's a week of giving because we're thankful for all of you folks, and we want you to enjoy some fun stuff. So make sure you're paying attention this week as we give some stuff away on High Top Sports Network.
Joe, we might have to coin it early Thanksgiving. Or
yeah, exactly. Like
Thanksgiving. You got Christmas in July, Halloween in August. How about Thanksgiving in October?
Yeah, no, it's never a bad time to show your thanks, as I like to think.
Never is.
So that will just about do it. Before we do, we want to say one more thank you again to our sponsors, folks. Again, when you're ever in need of any of our sponsors' goods and services, we urge you to go to them. They are the ones that support your young student athletes, the ones that you're tuning in tonight to watch, and they see this as a positive resource and an opportunity to showcase these players' skills and talents. And with that said, make sure if you're in need of groceries or if you're in need of chiropractic service or you're in need of insurance of any type, that you go to the fine folks that I'm about to mention, including Ryan Bowser State Farm. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser State Farm is there and in the red zone and in the pregame show. Olsen Chiropractic, our scoreboard sponsor tonight. Thank you, Dr. Ryan Olsen. He's got 2 very talented young men we got to watch tonight, and excited to watch them as they finish this season, and Caden finishes his high school career over the remaining weeks. I want to thank Shop and Save at Franklin Village. Again, get your gas late. Don't got to go to Sheets. I want to thank UFP Parker and up in Parker, Universal Forest Products. Phoenix Physical Therapy, one of our cool, awesome, been with us for pretty much from the jump sponsors. Thank you to both the Katanning and Rural Valley offices. When you're needing, hopefully you don't need them anytime soon, but life has its inevitabilities, and if you ever need physical therapy, make sure you check out the folks at Phoenix Physical physical therapy, both in Katanning and Rural Valley. Armstrong Indoor Athletics, where baseball season, softball season, it never ends. They've got a beautiful facility there, indoors, protected, heated, so that by the time that the spring rolls around and baseball and softball are in full swing, that you are able to get the most out of it with their training facility and their awesome staff that has a wealth of knowledge about the game. Also would like to thank Damon Chiropractic, 75 years, cracking backs, doing it the right way. And not just that, they want to help you avoid surgery. The last thing you want is surgery. And Dr. Justin Damon, is one of his passions is trying to help people avoid that terrible outcome if you ever have to face that. And he thinks there's a better outcome if you seek the proper care. And also would like to thank tonight's official broadcast partner. So many people down there, just wonderful, wonderful people that I've gotten to know over the years at the Richard G. Snyder YMCA in Katanning. Thank you for your support of High Top Sports Network. Remember, they got the golf simulator. Got to check it out. And the long drive contest upcoming will be there. Whether I'm in it or not, that's to be decided. I broke my driver, so I don't know. We'll see, Mason. But make sure you check that out. And then the personal training resources they have down there, just phenomenal. You heard Ryan Sprankle vouch for it. And we vouch for it, too, here at High Top Sports Network. So check them out today, the Richard G. Snyder YMCA in Katanning. Also would like to thank you guys. You, as I always say, have a bevy of ways to spend your time on a Friday night. Chilly, maybe you can watch a good movie, have a good bite to eat, watch, go out to the movies, whatever. But you choose to spend it with us, and we couldn't be any more grateful for it here on High Top Sports Network. So thank you so much. You guys are the best. Even the ones that leave nasty comments on Facebook and Twitter, you're awesome too.
Oh, yeah.
You're cool too.
Kill them with kindness.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I just really appreciate everybody. It means you're watching.
Oh, of course.
That means you're watching, you're enjoying it, and you care about this product as well. So we thank each and every one of you out there who tune in tonight and tune in every night here on High Top Sports Network. One final time for Mason Flanagan. My name is Joe Rhodes. We will see you next time. Have a great rest of your week, and may no train pass you by.